think someone is giving us feedback. Yeah.
All right, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, please. It's visible.
Okay, okay. So there's a sample project I was working on yesterday. So I'll share the data set to this project. It's a very fairly simple project. I'll share the data set, and then we can all go through the visuals and all the DAX and everything. Uh, Firstly, I think that in the past 2 days we have done a lot on the DAX, and so by this time everyone should at least have a very good grasp of what DAX actually is when we use measures, when we use calculated columns, how we use them, the basic functions, even the intermediate functions. For the advanced functions, I always say that it comes with practice. When you need it, you go and look for it, and then you learn it as you go on. I mean, that's how it works. But the basics and then the intermediates, those ones should be more or less at your beck and call. That anytime you want to use a calculate function or a sum function or an if function or something like that, it's you know how the logic works, and it's basically easy for you to do that. So I'll share the data set in the chat. Let me see if it's possible. Okay, chats. Okay. I don't know if it's fine if I share the data set in the chat or I should share it in the WhatsApp group. Which is better?
I think the WhatsApp would be more accessible, so maybe that might be pretty convenient than
And the chat.
the chat box. Yeah.
Okay.
I think somebody's suggesting both. So
Sorry, someone is suggesting what? Both.
both. Yeah.
Okay.
Please. Because I'm sharing my screen, I'm not able to access WhatsApp. So somebody can put a message in the WhatsApp platform that.
Okay. So I'll share it in the WhatsApp group. Project Bank. Okay. So it's a CSV file. Okay, so I've shared it in the on the WhatsApp platform. Let me see if I can share it in the group as well. I'm not sure I know how I'm going to share it in the group here because okay, desktop sets. Okay. All right, so I've shared it here as well. So am I audible and can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, you are. You can see your screen as well.
Okay. So I've shared the data set on the WhatsApp page and then here in the chat as well. So you can pick the data set. So I'll pick it up here. We'll start from scratch. So I'll import the data. It's a CSV file. Okay. Load the data without transforming. Okay, the data has been loaded. Then I can go to my table view and go and see what kind of data we have.
Sorry, we can only see your visual, the one you've done. We can't see
Oh, you
the
can see the one.
process. Yes,
Then I think
I think you need to share, unshare and share.
I have to unshare and share. Okay, let me see. Can you guys see my screen now? And is it the table or is still the visual?
Yes, now it's a table.
Okay. So I think we are good. So I've imported the data and I've come to the table to see what kind of data I have. So basically I have one column one. I don't know what that is. I have order ID. I have products. I have quantity ordered. I have price each. I have order date, purchase address, sales, and city. Okay, and it's a lot of rows. Over 200,000 rows. So it's a lot of data. Okay, so I have city. There's a column, I don't know the name. I have order date, order ID, price each, product, purchase address. Okay, so we'll do a little small cleaning on the data before we actually start working on it. So I'll go to my Power Query editor just to do the cleaning I have to do on the data. Okay. So the first, can you still see my screen? Is everything okay?
Please, everything is visible.
Okay, great. So the first thing I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to delete this column because this column doesn't give us any information. It looks like it's just numbers, numbering from 0 all the way to the last column. So I don't need it for my data. So I'll remove the column that has been removed. Then I look at my order ID. The validity is 100%, so it looks like it's okay. I look at my product. It is text. Everything looks fine. I look at my ordered quantity. Okay, I think it looks fine. Then I look at the next column. It says price each. This is actually unit cost. So I'll change the name. It is unit cost. So price each is unit cost. Okay. I'll change the name and then I'll put it in USD. Okay. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Then I have order date. My order date is okay. Maybe I'll duplicate this and take away the time. I'll separate the date and the time. So I can duplicate this, duplicate the column. So I have a new column here. And on this column, I'll transform. So I'll transform this column only. time only. Okay. I'll call the column order time. Order time. In fact, I think the time is not even important. What I really want is the hour, so that I'll be able to see like what kind of what hour do we have a lot of orders and things like that. So instead of the time, I'll transform that to the hour. To the hour. Okay. So I'll change it to order hour. Order hour. All right. Then I'll have my date as well. So I have to duplicate this again. Duplicate column and use only the date. So order date, I'll transform that to have the date only. All right, so I'm good. I call it order date. Order date. All right. There's a name conflict. Okay, so it means that I have to delete the first order date because I don't need it anymore. Please mute yourself. Can someone mute him? Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
so I'll delete this order date. Okay, I'll delete this order date and then name this one order date. Order date. All right. Okay. So I have my order hour, order date. I have my city, sales, purchase address. Okay, so let's try to understand the data. So we have a data for, let's say, a shop or a company that sells products. So we have the products they sell here on the products column. Then every order has an order ID. That's okay. Then the quantity ordered, that's self-explanatory. Then the unit cost of the product. So that's okay. Then the purchase address. So the person who is buying this, the address of the person. So I'll rename that and call it customer address. I'll call this customer address. So that once I see it, I know what it's talking about. Then I have this as sales, more like what the person is buying. So I think I can leave it as sales. It's okay. Then city, so the customer city. Let me add customer to it. Customer city. Then the order hour, that's the time. Then lastly, I have order date. Okay, so it looks like everything is fine here. My cleanup has been done. I understand the data now, so I can close and apply. All right. The data is loaded. The changes are being applied. As we go ahead, if there are any questions, please jump in and ask. If you don't understand anything, you feel that we'll see. Okay, so my data has been loaded. Now, let's talk about the sole aim of this analysis. So basically, the problem statement is that a company has a lot of data. They've recorded a lot of data in Excel, converted it to a CSV file. And as a data analyst, your job is to look at the data and see the kind of insights you can generate from the data. So it is over to you. You look at the data and see all the kind of insights you can generate, and then present the insights to the people responsible. So this is, let me show. Let me show. So this is a dashboard that someone created with the data we have. And this dashboard is basically to show what is happening to the data. So it has the revenue, the sales quantity, profit margin. It's not a bad dashboard. So we can actually create something like this as well. But for me, I mean, as a data analyst, it's up to you to create what you think you want to create based on the needs of the client or the needs of the people. For me, I feel that this dashboard doesn't do justice to every insight in the data. It captures some insights and leaves some out. Of course, you can't capture all the insights on one dashboard or in one report. Otherwise, you have too many visuals and it will be too noisy. If you have too many visuals, you're not really communicating. You should have maximum 4 or 5 visuals in the whole dashboard, or maybe 6. But if you are getting 10 visuals and 15 visuals, it will be clumsy. So what I decided to do was that I will create a report for different target audience. So instead of creating one sales dashboard for everybody, I'll create one report for top management. That is maybe the directors and the MD. Because the directors and the MD, they are different things they are interested in. Okay. Then I'll also create one report for territory sales managers. So normally the sales managers have territories they manage. So maybe one sales manager is managing Ghana, another sales manager is looking at maybe Nigeria and Namibia, like, different places. So all of them will have different things they are also interested in, which may be very different from what the MD and the directors are interested in, because the MD and the directors are looking at the global picture. But the territory sales, okay. Then I also have a last report for the product manager. So the product manager also wants to know which products are moving, which products are selling a lot, which areas are selling which products. And these insights, maybe the MD is not interested in these. Maybe the territory sales manager is only interested in how much he is selling in which area and things like that. He's interested in revenue and profit margin, but the product manager is also not interested in that. He wants to know which products are moving, which products he should buy more, maybe which areas are selling more. And if he has to build a warehouse or something, a temporary warehouse, where should it be located? Because he has to be close to the place where they buy a lot of stuff, So some of these insights, it's not the same for everybody. Even maybe you could have an insight that looks at which day of the week do you sell a lot, or which months do you sell a lot, and which months are the sales on the downside. Maybe someone like human resource, the HR, can look at this data and see that, okay, maybe normally from July to August, sales is slow. So maybe they would say that, okay, from July to August, maybe a lot of employees should take their leave, because normally sales is slow during this period. So if we have a lot of employees, they are not really working. So it's better to utilize that period of time for them to take their leave days around that area. So as the analyst, depending on what you are looking at, you can have insights for a lot of different people. So normally you would want to categorize these insights so that you don't bombard the MD with what the HR should see, and you don't bombard the HR or the territory sales manager with what only the MD would be interested in. So we bless you, Lord. Okay, so because of that, I decided to create different tabs, different reports for different target audience, instead of creating just one report that doesn't really give a detailed picture of what is happening everywhere. Okay. So this is the report I am creating. I'm not even done. So currently, this is the report for top management, okay, which has 4 visuals, and then 3 cards, so that you don't have a lot of noise. Then I'll do one for the territory sales manager, product manager as well. So because we want to start a project and have it being continued, that's why I decided to choose this, so that at least we can build one and then the others we can continue them individually later, and then we can come back and share what you've been able to do and how it's going. And this one, there is no guidance, so it's up to you. Depending on what you want to see and the things you are seeing in the data, you can visualize and make some advice or report on some things that you have seen. Okay. Any questions so far? Questions so far?
Please, if you need any further clarification on anything, you can let us know, so you would be attended to. If not, maybe we can continue.
All right. So basically creating 3 different pages, like I just said. So the first one, I'm naming it maybe top management. Top management.
Celestine, okay.
The second one would be, sorry?
Celestine sent something in the chat box. So she said she's okay now.
She's okay for now. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm naming the first one top management. The second one will be for the territory sales manager. So for the sales manager, then the last one will be for the product manager. Product manager. All right. So for top management, putting yourself in the shoes of the MD or of the directors, what visuals or what insights are you interested in? The first thing that comes to mind, is total sales. How many sales did we do the whole year? That is the first thing any MD is interested in. How much did you make the whole year? So let's look at that. So from our data, we already have sales. So it's easy to just pick sales. Okay. On a visual, we have sum of sales. We can have that as a card, and we have our total sales already. Then we have our total sales. But please mute yourselves. Everyone should mute themselves so we don't interfere. Okay. So just like that, we have total sales. But because I know that I'm going to use total sales to calculate a lot of things. For example, I'll use total sales to calculate profits and profit margins and things like that. So it would be better to create a measure for total sales so that I can use it in my calculations. So because of that, I'll create a measure for total sales instead of using just the sales I have on my table. I hope that makes sense, because I know that I'm going to calculate profit. I'm going to calculate profit margin. I'm going to look at things that I'll calculate with. Sales, the total sales. So it's better to have it in a calculative mode than to have it like this that you can't use in any calculation. So I'll create a total sales measure instead. Create my card to have the total sales measure. I come to my sales data and I tell it new measure. Okay. So the measure, I call it total sales. Okay, let me say total revenue. Total revenue. Now the total revenue will be equal to sum of the sales data, the sales column of the sales data. That is all. The total revenue is equal to the sum. So the total sales we've done. That is what the total revenue give. So I hit my enter or commit, and I have my total revenue. So we just have to check if it matches what we have on the previous card, and it's the same. So it means that our total revenue is right. I think this is the easiest DAX you can ever write in your life. Okay, so we have our total revenue. So I'll take this one off because I don't need it. The calculated total revenue is better for me. So, all right. So we have our total revenue. Then as an MD or top management person, another thing that I'll also be very interested in is how much profit have we made? Yes, you are saying that we've made the revenue of 34.49 million. That's okay, but how much profit? So we'll have to go and calculate our profit. So I'll create a measure for profit as well. To calculate profit, I'll need total revenue. So we know that, let me pick my pen. We know that profit is equal to total revenue or total sales. So total revenue minus total cost. Profit is total revenue minus total cost. Now we already have total revenue, so we have to calculate total cost. So I'll create a new measure. I call it total cost. Total cost. Okay. Now total cost will be equal to, just like we did for the revenue, a sum of the unit cost. Okay. So if we say total cost is equal to the sum of unit cost, we won't be right because it has to be unit cost times the quantity ordered. Let's go to our table and go and look at how it is there. Let's see, we have something in the chat. Okay. So in our table, we have unit cost, we have ordered quantity, then we have the sales. Okay, let me see for some of them that the ordered quantity is more than one. Yes. So the total cost has to be the unit cost times the ordered quantity. The unit cost times the ordered quantity. Yeah. But it looks like the unit cost times the ordered quantity gives you what they've recorded as the sales. So that is not right. Okay. So for the purpose of this walkthrough, let's say that the total cost is a sum of all the costs, okay, without looking at the quantity. So the total cost is a sum of all the costs. I was creating the measure. Yeah.
Exactly.
So total cost. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's already a cost, it is when we are looking for the total sales or purchase that is going to be the cost times the quantity, but because it's a cost, like we are doing now, it's a sum of the cost that we know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can see we have a few things in the chat. Someone says, can't we create a new column and name it cost to contain the unit times the ordered quantity? Yes, we can do that as well. In fact, that's what we should have done. But the problem I'm seeing is that if we have the cost times the quantity, and we are calling that the cost, it would be equal to the sales. Because I'm realizing that the data set we have, the sales is equal to the quantity ordered times the cost. If I look through, you see 2.99 years. So it's this times this. And if we do that, it means that in the end, our profits will be zero and everything will be zero because they'll square up. But the purpose, just for the purpose of this walkthrough, okay, for the purpose of this walkthrough, we'll use the cost, the unit cost as it is, without multiplying with the quantity. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the total cost will be equal to a sum of the unit cost. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. So I hit enter. And I have the total cost. So let me pick a card, put the total cost on that and see what it is. Total cost is what? 34 point. It's almost the same as the revenue. Let me see if I picked something wrong. Sales data unit cost. Yes, the sum. And then the total revenue was sales data sales. Okay. Okay. So we are okay. Why is one? So let me put this one in. Let me format this, the revenue. USD. Something in the chart. Oh, someone said, can I see the table again? So this is the table again. On the table, we have the quantity ordered as well as the unit cost. And then you have the sales. Okay, quantity ordered, unit cost, and then the sales. So under normal circumstances, the total cost per line item, the total cost per line item should have been the unit cost times the quantity ordered. And that will give you the total cost. But what I'm saying is that if we do that, it will be equal to the sales amount. Yes, I agree, Celestine. I agree. I agree. So it looks like the cost is the cost to the person buying. It's not the cost to the company. It's the cost to the person buying. So that will mean that yes, it's cost to the person buying. So that will mean that we can't use this cost to do our subtractions and stuff. But just for the purpose of this, because we really want to be able to calculate our profits and profit margins and things like that. So we would assume that this unit cost, okay, is actually cost. Let me take away the unit. It's just cost. cost of the product. Okay, it's just cost of the product without looking at the quantity. Okay. Let's go to our data. So the total revenue is, I'm surprised that the total revenue and the total cost are the same. Let me check what I got here because I'm not sure. Total sales. Okay, 34 and total cost. Okay. All right, so it was the same. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think, Peter, it should be the same because ideally, the price of an item by the quantity gives the cost of it. Okay, so it should be roughly the same. Can you work out on a different column, like somebody is suggesting, do the price times the quantity on a different column, and then visualize that, and then let's see.
Okay. As in, I should create a calculated column.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see how that works out. But wait, from where I pulled this data, looks like they are treating 1 minute. Oh, let me go look at the people who provided the data. Total revenue. Yeah, they are doing total sales minus total costs. So yes, and they are doing total cost is equal to sum of sales data, unit price. Yeah. Yes, so it's the same thing they are doing. So I think we should go in the same direction. We should go in the same direction rather than trying to create, because right now the way it stands, if we do, okay, let me create this measure so that we can all create the column. Now if we are, let me call it a trial cost. Okay, now this cost should be equal to cost. Where is that? Okay, I changed it to cost. Okay, so it's equal to this cost times dead quantity ordered here. All right, I hit my enter. Okay. So we see that it's basically the same. So let me add one new column again, call it the profit, and let me get the subtraction. So profit is equal to the what was it? What did I even call that one? So it's
I'm sure not all the cost and the sales are the same for all the products. I'm sure for some of them it's different. So we might get there for some of them.
okay. Let's see how it goes. So profit is equal to revenue. So sales minus cost, the trial cost. So minus trial cost. Where is that? Yeah, the last one. Okay. Let me hit my enter and then we see. If all the profits we are getting 0. So we are getting a lot of zeros.
Sorry,
All of them are
Peter,
0.
sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah,
your
sure.
data set, the sales
Uh-huh.
column, okay, is
Uh-huh.
the same
Uh-huh.
as what you have calculated as trial cost. You get it? Because the sales
Uh-huh.
column is
Yeah.
cost times the quantity order. So ideally, you don't even need the trial cost. That's why you're getting 0 as a profit. Okay. So
But please allow me to scroll down and let's please allow me to
Sorry?
scroll down and let's see. But it might not be zero throughout. Allow me to
Oh, it's
scroll down
zero,
and
it's
let's see.
zero throughout. If you can see my screen,
it's 0. It's 0
you
throughout.
can see that it's only 0. So it's 0
Yes,
throughout.
it's 0
That it
throughout.
means that there's a problem with the data.
Yeah.
No,
So it
no.
means that but the people that give the data are saying that this cost is cost. So we shouldn't multiply it with the ordered quantity to get the total cost. We should just treat it as cost. So let's use it that way and let's go ahead. Okay. So I can delete all these new calculated columns I created. Where is that delete save? Delete from model. Yes. Delete the trial cost as well. So just for the purpose of delete the trial cost. Delete from model. Okay, then. Okay, that's it. All right. So we have our total cost. We have our total revenue. We are okay. Now we want to look at profit margin. So profit margin is total revenue minus total cost. So it's more like total profit divided by total revenue times 100. So, okay, I now see. All right, so let's create our new measure. So I'm calling this new measure profit margin. Profit margin. Our profit margin is equal to total revenue minus total cost I close that bracket over total revenue. Then all this times 100. I hit enter. All right, I have my profit margin now. I put it into percentage. And then I can go and visualize my profit margin and see what I have. So I create a new card and I have my profit margin. Okay. At least we have a good figure. So we are good to go. So our profit margin is So our profit margin is 58.83%. But realistically, what this means is that the actual profit margin is this value divided by 100.
Peter, I
Yeah.
don't think the profit margin is
Yes.
supposed to be 58%. The reason being that even if you look at the total revenue and the total sales, it's just about 20 something difference because one is 34 million 9. I think you multiply it by 100 and then still use the percentage sign. So it's like double percentage.
Yes, that's true. That's what I'm
So,
saying that that's what I'm saying that the raw profit margin is this 58.83 divided by 100.
Exactly.
Yeah. 58.83 divided by 100. Yeah, so that's like 0.5, like 0.6 percent profit margin. Yeah. It's like 0.6% profit margin. But
can you remove the times 100 in the formula and then just apply the percentage and see if it's going to produce the same result?
Yeah, that would work. If you delete the times 100 and apply the percentage, it will give it the 0.5.
yes, but that will not be realistic. That will not make the data look realistic. It would make it clear that there's a problem between the total sales and then the total cost. Because if the whole year you have done a lot of revenue and your profit margin is not even 1%, there's a problem.
Then maybe the business is running at a loss, and that might be what we discover at the end of this whole analysis. I'm thinking maybe the business is running a loss, and you're trying to give them by false profit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Maybe they are running at a
side-
loss. They are
I-
struggling. That's why they hired a
Yeah.
data analyst.
I side with you. Who is that? Can you mention your name?
Yasmin.
Yasmin.
Okay, I side with you, right? So I think I was waiting to chip in.
Yasmin.
Right. Okay, Yasmin.
Telling us.
All right. Okay. I was waiting to chip in this, right? So I was just looking at that part critically, right? I was like, okay, then there is an issue here, right? So maybe after this project, what we are going to do is we are going to task ourselves, right, to continue with wherever we end, and we are going to provide a report, a detailed analysis on the visualization that we will all do individually, right? So maybe we can find a day or a time to present it to each other. At least you share your screen and you explain what you've done, why you did this, and your maybe few report or your few analysis on what you have, just like you are presenting to your stakeholders or something like that, right? I think doing that would help us. So thank you for letting us know, Yasmin, because that was exactly what I was about saying.
Yeah. So you see the point, let me see if there's something in the chat. Okay. The point of the whole thing is to try to explore the data and see what we have in there.
Perfect.
Yes. So if you see, the fact of the matter is that this cost they've given here is not cost. That is the root cause. The root cause is that this cost is not cost. If it is cost, it means that they are not putting any margin on it to be sold. Because if you are buying the thing at 11.95 and you are selling at 11.95, I don't know what kind of business you are doing. You get. So it means that this is not cost. This is
more
not
like price.
Cost from the supplier. It's more like price. Exactly. It's more like price. It's more like price. And if it is price, then it means that there's no cost in the data. So
they didn't add cost. I think that's the problem.
Redundant.
They didn't add the cost. They just added the price, but then they named it as unit cost. Because other than that, it doesn't make any sense, like you said.
Okay.
But they are treating it as cost in their report. They have analyzed their data and they are treating it as cost. And now they have the 58.8%. Yeah, so it means that just for the purpose, but it's wrong.
Yes, please. So,
but just for the purpose of this walkthrough, just take it that way. But of course, it's not right. It's not right. Okay, so let's say we calculated our profit margin. We have our 58 point, almost 60% profit margin, which is really good. If your profit margin is almost 60%, it means you are doing very good business. And then the revenue, total revenue at 34 million. Maybe I can reduce the noise, the decimal places, maybe to 1. Yeah, 34.5 million. So we are good. What else will upper management be interested in? they have total revenue, they have the profit margin. Maybe they would want to know how many orders we've made in the whole year. So total orders. Okay. Total orders. Let's see if there's a way we can get that. Oi, where is everything?
I think you hit them. That is how come they're not showing.
How do I unhide them?
So you
Okay,
see
okay.
where you go
You
to
hit them.
the yes. Even where you go when you go to
Okay.
the Power Query on
How to
the
unhide?
columns, I realized that you had checked them.
How did I check them? The field or table is hidden. Use the context menu to make it visible. Oh, but I don't remember
You
hiding.
did that in the Power Query side. I think mistakenly you hit them there. Yeah. Okay, so there's on hide all over there. Where you just went. There was on hide
Let me
all
go
there.
back. There's on hide or
Yes.
on hide or. Yeah. Okay. So we have our total revenue. We have a low profit margin. Then what did I say? Well, yes, total orders. So we are going to see the number of orders we had during the whole year. So that will be basically quantity of orders. And that is it. We put it on a card. This is giving us a sum of the ordered quantity. That's not what I want. I want a count. Total orders. I don't need the ordered quantity. I'm supposed to use the order ID because that's what is the yes. So I have 185,000 order IDs. So that's the number of orders we had in the year. Any other thing you guys think top management will be interested in? Any other insights?
I think Darkon want to chip in something. Darkon, can you?
All right.
Yes, senior. Yeah, sorry. I think it's still on the profit margin because by my small sales knowledge, the profit margin should be, let's say, the total revenue minus the cost, as the total cost over the total revenue times 100. So, anyway,
That
so
is exactly
that
what
is
we
where,
do, brother.
uh,
Total
okay,
revenue minus total cost over total revenue times 100.
okay. But then I was having a different figure. That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, sure. No problem. All right. So let's collaborate. Which other things do you think upper management will be interested in? If you were the CEO of this company, what else would you want to see? Please, those who can talk, put it in the chat. Let's do this together. If you can talk, go ahead on mute and talk. If you can put it in the chat.
I think the other accounts that you have done over there, it's more or less like a unique account you are going to get, or because it's going to be, it's only going to count only unique ID numbers, and some of the ID numbers will be repeating. Probably some of the products may be having the same ID number, or on your data it doesn't reflect like that. I want to understand the difference between the 209 you first obtained from the 185.
All right. The 209 we got. Let me bring that card again. The 209 was the ordered quantity. So it's more like the total number of products that have been ordered within the year. So if you are selling toffees and mangoes and apples and everything, how many things did you sell? So maybe you sold 10 toffees, 2 mangoes, 3 oranges. You put all together, that's where you get this 209, the sum of quantity ordered. But the count of order ID is more like how many invoices, how many orders. So on one order, you can have 2 oranges and 3 mangoes on one order. Then you give the order out. So we want to see how many orders we did. And most of the time, businesses are interested in how many invoices you raised at the end of the month. So that's why I'm considering the. Please mute if you are not talking. Can we mute the person? Okay. So that's why I use the count of order ID, because I'm trying to see how many orders were placed. I'm not trying to see the details in the orders. No, I'm looking at the orders that were placed. So if 10 people placed orders, I want to count the 10. If 10 people placed orders that had like 50 things in there, I don't want to see the 50 things. It's the 10 orders I want to see, and probably see how I can increase the number of orders I get going forward and things like that. I don't know if it's well explained.
Yes, I understand. Please.
Yeah. But of course, as I said, you are the data analyst, you are in charge. If you want to see the sum of quantity ordered, that's fine. That's fine. But I think I will be more interested in the number of orders than the detailed number of things that we sold.
But before we move forward,
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we move forward, like you said, depending on the stakeholder you are dealing with, you might visualize different things. I mean, in terms of sum of quantity ordered, I'm thinking maybe a mid-level manager or a supervisor might be interested in details like that or insights like that, because it might be useful in their line of work. But like you said, for top management, they're probably looking at the big picture. So yeah.
I agree. I agree. 100%. I agree. Okay. I think someone said we should look at top selling products. Yes. Top selling products. I think that top selling products will be something that the product manager will be more interested in. At the MD side, yeah, maybe MD would want to see maybe the top 5. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Maybe the top 5 selling products. Top 5 products that generate the most revenue. Okay. So we can look at products here, and then we pick revenue, total revenue. All right, we have a lot of them. Then I would want to make it top 5. So I'll filter and say, give me top 5. And by value, the value should be revenue. The value should be this, sales. Okay, so it means that instead of this, I'll pick sales. The same anyway. Okay. So this is what I have. Oh, I didn't apply the filter. Top 5. The data field should be sales. And apply the filter. All right. So I have the top 5 products by sales. So I can use this. Yeah. So I think we are good with this visual as well. Top 5 products by revenue, the revenue they generate. Top city sales. Yes, I think MD will be interested in that as well. Which cities are we selling a lot at? So that when he wants to visit some places, he prioritizes the cities that we are doing lots of sales. So maybe we can look at top 5 cities as well. We'll be more interested in what is happening in the cities, in their different sales zones. Okay, maybe the one for Accra will be interested in what's happening in Accra. The one that's looking at maybe Kumasi and Cape Coast will be interested in what's happening there. But for the MD, he's looking at the whole country, which cities are doing very well. So maybe the top 5 cities. So I can say customer city plus sales. Okay. Customer city plus sales. Okay, we are using a map. That's okay. But I think I would want my map to where do I have my sales? Okay, the sales is in the bubble size. I think it's okay, but I would want it, should label it for me. I don't know. Bubbles, category labels. Yeah, right. Then I'll zoom into the top 5. I'll choose the top 5. Then I'll do that by sales. Apply the filter. Okay. So clearly, I can see my top 5 cities based on revenue generated. The only problem I have with this visual, because I tried this visual, but I felt it wasn't really working for me. If you look at the bubble sizes, it's so difficult to tell which one is the biggest, followed by which one at a glance. You have to look at it properly. For San Francisco, it is clear that it is bigger than all the others. But if you look at Los Angeles and you look at New York, they look the same. I don't really see which one is bigger. Even Boston. Okay, Boston looks a little bit smaller and Atlanta is the smallest. But New York and Los Angeles, they look like they are the same. So for me, I don't think this visual is the best visual to show what we want to show. Because MD is very busy. He wants to just look at the report in 30 seconds and be able to know which cities are doing very well. So I would rather go for maybe this.
Is it possible that we use the map, then we shape the areas according to the highest sales in different colors, just like we did it in our project, the initial one?
Say again, is it possible that we use the map and show what?
Is it possible that we use the map and then we shape the areas with different variants of the same color? Just that one fades out depending on the highest one. We fade in like that so that at least the color fading can tell which one is the highest and which one is the lowest. Is it possible to do something like that?
If you would want to do that, you have to use the shape map. Because the shape map is the only one that gives you color saturation. It gives you a possibility of using color saturation.
Can we use
And
it
that will mean that, sorry?
Can we use it in this case?
I am not sure. Okay, let's try that. I have not tried, but I'm not sure. If we want to use a sales map, our data is on the US. So let me go to map settings and see if we can do something there.
Okay, can we pretend that the top 5 cities we want to visualize are actually
okay, United States. Okay, have custom. Let me see. Australia state, Australia, United States, yeah, USA. I think based on this, maybe you have to import a map or something like that. So this doesn't work. You see that in our project, we imported the map, so it was easier to, yes, but this you import a map. Because the other 2 maps, the field map doesn't give you the opportunity to use color saturation. Legend, latitude, 2 tips. So you don't have that. And for this very map, you don't have that. All you have is the bubble size. And for me, I think the bubble size is a bit confusing. So I'd rather use, I'd rather use this or this. Yeah. Because for this, once you see it, it is clear. You can quickly see that San Francisco is first, Los Angeles followed, then. But when it's on the map, it's difficult to see. So I'll go for this. Your job is to make things easy for everybody. When anybody looks at your report or your dashboard, it should be so easy to see what's happening, rather than the person has to hover the mouse before they see what's happening. Okay. Which other thing would they be interested in?
I'm thinking they will be interested in maybe the bottom 5, like least performing, cities or branches. I mean, since top management makes strategic business decisions for the long-term, vision of the organization, they would want to know the top 5, but also maybe the bottom 5 to compare the difference. If the difference is not so huge, and they are doing almost just as well, then it's fine. But if the difference is very humongous, then they might want to make some strategic decisions about that. So that would definitely something I'm thinking top management would be interested in. So
Okay. So you are saying the bottom 5 cities. Okay, we can look at that. But if I'm top management, I don't think I'm interested in the cities that are not doing so well. My focus is really on cities that are doing very well,
but
which I have to
but
focus
if
on.
they are doing so bad that you are not aware that how bad they're doing, how will you be able to like plan for that? Or
If they are doing so bad, the territory managers would catch that because they manage the territories. So the territories that are very bad, the territory managers will be very interested in that. But as top management, I want to see those that are doing very well and those that are giving me a lot of money, because that's where the focus is, the place that I'm generating a lot of revenue. Maybe the sales manager at the territory level should be very interested in how all the states are performing to see which areas they have to maybe focus more marketing and stuff like that on. But for top management, is looking at money, is looking at profit. In my opinion, I mean, you are not wrong. It's just what I think.
I mean, I get it. But we're assuming this is like a huge corporation that, for example, in the US has, branches across different states. State-wise, state-wise decisions on an aggregate basis will definitely be made by management at the top level. Not the thing is, if they're doing so bad that, for example, the state branch has to be closed down, that's not a decision the sales manager will make. That's a decision top management will make. Or maybe it needs to be changed into something else. I don't think that's something a sales manager would make. It's too big of a decision. Yes, they can make decisions about marketing to try and get things up and running. But depending on how bad things are, I just want to see the difference. If the difference is not huge, we can ignore. But if it's huge, I think it's something top management then has to step in and go like, okay, so what do we do with these leaking buckets or these liabilities? What do we do with them? Should we move states? Maybe these people, because of their culture, this state, they're not interested in this type of business. We can do a different business there. Those are not going to be made by sales managers or product managers. Those are top management level decisions. So, yeah.
Okay, that's well noted.
I agree, and I was even thinking that it will be best we can even replace some of the sales type products and limit that particular outcome to the product manager, so that at least he would manage the product that needs to be sold out there. So we can have those two things the lady was referring to. But in addition to that, I also wanted to ask that is it possible that we can have the sales made per time or per day? But I'm not sure of the data that you have, if it is according to years or it's labeled the differences is in months or is in days. I don't know too much.
Okay.
Data. But I want to ask if it's possible.
All right. Yes, it's possible. So let's do the cities that are not doing well first.
It's possible. So
let me pick the cities and then let me pick the sales. And let me pick this table. And then I'll do cities that the bottom 5. As top management, I will not be interested in this anyway, but so bottom 5.
That's why you're a technocrat.
Bottom 5. Okay, apply the filter. Okay. So this is what I have for the bottom 5. So let me change it to this. So the bottom 5 cities are doing what? They are doing around $2 million the whole year. Meanwhile, the top cities are doing around $9 million The top five, I think the minimum for the top five. Atlanta is even doing 2.7 million. Oh, okay. Okay. So the cities are not a lot. The cities are not a lot because Atlanta is here and then Atlanta is here as well. So the last person in the top five is the first person in the bottom five. So it means that the cities are only 9.
Then I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, the cities are only 9. So it's not necessary in my opinion. Otherwise, let me leave this to bottom 4. Okay, so bottom 4. So Dallas, which starts the bottom 4, is doing 2.7 million. And Atlanta in the last person in the bottom 5 is also doing 2.7 million. Austin, which is doing the least, is doing 1.8 million. I don't think upper management is really interested in this because they are definitely not going to close Austin down. They're actually
Oh,
going to look
definitely.
how to push it forward. Okay.
I mean, they're not doing so bad, so it's okay.
That money
I
is
mean, I think
not
the city managers can handle this one. They are doing okay.
yes. Plus, I also feel that the graph feels a bit deceptive when you compare the two graphs because their margins are not the same. It appears as though by observation, the bars of the those doing worse looks quite bigger than those that are doing quite very well. No offense, but if you expand it, it looks quite very deceptive. Unless the person has to just pay attention to the details.
I'm not sure I get your point. Come again.
My point is that when you expand the those that are performing worse, they are bars. When you expand the visual, you will notice that the bars in it appear to be slightly bigger. No, even if you keep it at the same size as the other one, the bars are too big, and it can be very deceptive at first look, unless the person pays close attention to details. Are you getting the point I'm making?
Yeah, I get it. So the axis.
I think
Exactly.
But I think the bar, Peter, I think the bar size, as my colleague is saying, it's probably because that one we are just viewing top 4 and this one is top 5. So
Exactly.
it is more wider than the other one. Yeah.
Another thing is we
I
didn't
think
name it properly. This should be top 5 cities something, and this should be bottom, so that at least from the name, somebody can tell the difference. Right now, they are called exactly the same things, right? Some of sales, some of yeah. So I don't know.
The name in there, we've not come there yet. That one is
okay.
That one do that. Yeah. Okay. Then I think there was someone who proposed that we do sales by month, so that we see which months we did so well and which months we didn't. The year should be out, the quarter should be out, the day should be out. All right. And once I'm trending that, I'm going to use a line graph. Correct. So I have this. This is actually a good visual to show them what's happening. And let me add the data labels. Okay. Then I can take the y-axis off. Take the title off because I don't need it anymore. No, not the title. The values. Yeah. Then the x-axis, I can take the title off. Okay. Okay. I think this is interesting. Now I want to add a touch to this. Let's assume, so we can see that our monthly sales, it ranges from 1.8 million to 4.6 million. In December, we sold a lot of stuff, and that's good news. Let's assume that the monthly target, the monthly sales target is 2.3 million USD. The monthly sales target for every month is 2.3 million USD. So let's add that to our chart. General It's a visual rather. Secondary as is. Where? Where's that one? Okay, so it's definitely here. X axis, Y axis, secondary axis. What do I get that? Oh,
You want to add an extra line to the graph.
yes. I think it's here. Yeah, here. Okay. So I want to add a line. I'm calling the line my target, monthly target. Because almost all companies that do sales like this have monthly targets. So monthly target, and the value is 2.3 million. Let me give it a black color. Okay. And that's just okay. The data label should be on.
I feel a red color would do fine than the black.
On. Let me change it to the, and let me put it on the right. Okay. Then let me make this in millions, and then I can make the decimal places maybe 1 or 0. 1. Okay. All right. So I have this. So sales, monthly sales against the target. So it's clear that in some months we didn't meet our target, and in some other months the company did better than the target. Okay. Any other thing top management will be interested in? Then also sales traffic peak hours. Yeah, I think peak hours is too detailed. I'm not sure MD will be interested in what time. I think what the month level is fine for MD. Maybe the territory managers will be interested in what time of the day we sell a lot or something like that. But top management, I'm not sure. Someone said products that are not selling. I think the product manager will be interested in that one. Products that are not selling. Any other one I missed? Okay. Any others? Oh, we are okay. We are good. Okay. So if we are good, I think we would like to see products. So products that have been sold based on quantities. Okay. So I'm able to see like the top 10 products, not based on revenue, but based on quantity sold. Which products do they buy a lot? Because the one we have here is sales by revenue. There could be some products that they are buying a lot. It's moving, like fast moving products. That's what I mean. Maybe top 10 fast moving products.
But
I'm not sure top management is that are making strategic decisions are interested in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit more detailed. They are always looking at 2-3 key indicators of how the organization is faring, the well-being of the organization, mostly maybe profit, cost, and like you said, maybe top performing branches, etc., so that they can make strategic decisions about where to take the business next, maybe new markets that they want to enter into. If they have enough cash flow to expand and create other branches, etc. We are getting too much into the minutia for top management, I believe.
Okay.
Product this, product that is.
Okay. I'm tempted to agree. To that. Okay. What other thing do we think top management will be interested in? We have how many charts do we have? Because when we finish, we'll have to trim down our charts. The number of charts we should have should be maximum 5. Okay, I think we have only 4. So we are okay. All right. Total revenue, definitely. This one is serious business. Total revenue, there nobody's playing with it. Count of order ID, nobody's playing with that as well. Profit margin is serious business. Then sum of ordered quantity. So this, we are taking this one out. Okay. Okay, I think top management would be interested in where we are based on, so more like currently we have on this visual. On this visual, we have sales against targets. This is month by month. They would want to know cumulatively, okay, the cumulative at the end of the year. We are saying that our total revenue was 34.5. If we are having a cumulative target, what was the cumulative target? And how does our cumulative revenue compare to the target? And what percentage did we do more or did we do less? Or like a KPI to show where we are at the end of the year. I don't know if I don't know if I explained it properly.
Yeah, that's definitely something they would want to see. I mean, what the targets were for yearly as well as monthly, and maybe targets for different branches or whatever, compared to what the actual results that they got at the end of the year is. Yeah, that makes a bit more, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, right. Right. So with that, and then a cumulative revenue measure. Sava? Okay. Quickly, we come to a new measure. We want to call it cumulative cost. Cumulative cost. Okay. Accumulative cost will be equal to, let's do the revenue first. Cumulative revenue. Accumulative revenue will be equal to the total revenue, right? So it will be equal to total revenue. The total revenue. If we are doing cumulative, we have to filter. So it means we have to use the calculate function. So calculate. Now my expression is the total revenue. I have the measure already, so that's okay. Total revenue. Then I have to filter. Now I have to filter. I have to remove all filters. I have to remove all filters on the date, the order date. Which one is order date? This one. Is this your table name or column name? So I have to remove all filters on the order date column. Then I have to filter all the other dates. All the other dates. So that the other dates I have should be less than or equal to the maximum order date I have on the table. The maximum order date. Yeah. Okay, so what am I saying in plain English? I want to calculate the cumulative revenue. Now I'm saying that the cumulative revenue normally should be equal to the total revenue. That is it. But because it's cumulative, we want to say that every filter on the visuals, okay, every filter on this card, what should take effect, okay, what should be removed, whether it has been filtered or not, is the order date filter. So if there is an order date filter on this visual, okay, only the order date filter should be made to stand. And this order date should not be greater than the maximum order date you have on the table. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
I have no idea what you're going on about. Can you explain it again?
All right. All right. Let me write it again. In writing, the explanation comes better.
I'm fine, yes, sir.
Hey, Nilai. Okay. So I'm going to calculate cumulative revenue. I'm saying cumulative revenue should be equal to the total revenue. That side here, there's no problem. It's the total revenue. Now, that is my expression. My expression is the total revenue. On the filter side, I'm saying that I want to return everything on the table. Okay, everything on the table, ignoring all filters that have been put on my table. So this all function is going to return all the rows in the table or all the values in the column I'm going to select, ignoring any filters that have been, may have been applied. What this means is that because I'm going to select the order date column, it means that if on the visual we have maybe filtered some other dates, maybe a date to be maybe only in July, because we are calculating cumulative, it has to calculate from January. It can't calculate only in July. I don't know if this one makes sense. So the cumulative is going to ensure that all filters will be ignored. All filters I have on my chart will be ignored so that the cumulative can be calculated. So that's the first part. So all filters should be ignored. All filters on the order date should be ignored. That's the first one. Then when all filters on the order date is ignored, it means that it is picking the total data. It is picking everything I have on my table. Okay. Now, it should filter the order date such that the order dates I have on my table should be less than or equal to the maximum order dates on the table. This is a bit some way. I think I can explain better using the visuals. Let me write the
No,
DAX.
I actually get it. I actually get it. Oh, okay. I don't know if others do, but I think I get it now.
Okay. Guys, if you don't get it, let me know. So sales order date should be less than or equal to the maximum sales order date, right? Then I can close my calculate function. Oh, it's already closed. Okay, I hit enter. All right. So my cumulative revenue has been calculated. Okay. As I always do, let me get a card and put the cumulative revenue on that. This is my cumulative revenue. Okay. So currently my cumulative revenue is equal to the total revenue. What I was saying and what I was explaining plenty was that, for example, let me bring a slicer in here. If you have a date slicer or that date, right? If you have this slicer and I want to see what's the cumulative revenue, because someone can say that, maybe upper management can say, I want to see what the revenue was as at September 31st. That is something upper management may be interested in, depending on what they are looking at. They can see, okay, at the end of September, how much revenue have we done? So I can come to September 30th. And quickly, this cumulative revenue should change, as well as the total revenue. Okay. Now let's assume that we have filtered it with the sales product. So we want to see the cumulative revenue from the sales only as at the end of October. Okay, as at the end of October. Or, yeah, this is even better. Let me add another slicer. Yeah, then I give it the other date. No, not this way, this way. This way. Then let me change it to list. Settings. Give me a list. No, a drop down actually. Okay. Oh, no, I just want the months. Months. I just want the month. Okay, so only the month, so I don't need you. Only the month. All right, so I have only the month. So let's say I have selected, let me clear this filter. Okay. Now currently my cumulative revenue is 34.49, same as my total revenue, so it's the same. Now when I select, say for May, the cumulative revenue calculates everything from January to May. Okay, everything from January to May. But my total revenue is supposed to only tell me the revenue for May. Because if I want to see only the revenue for May, my total revenue should tell me the revenue for only May. But my cumulative revenue should tell me the revenue from January all the way to May. Now let me see this. Let's go to May 2019. May 31. Okay. So my cumulative revenue is telling me everything I have from January all the way to May. But this is my total revenue. My total revenue is supposed to tell me only what we have for me, and that is the 3.2 million. So we have to look at this total revenue. Well, where is this? Yeah. Total revenue is equal to sum of sales data. So your sum of the sales column. Anyone knows what's wrong here? Hey, guys, are you on the call? Or
Hey, we are here.
it's like you are the only one here. Are you guys on the call?
No, we are here. We are here.
Okay.
Confusion.
Because
Even though
my total revenue here is supposed to give me the revenue for only what I select. It's the cumulative revenue that is supposed to calculate the revenue all the way from January to wherever I select.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I get it.
But it's rather
But then
changing with
they're
the
both giving you the
cumulative.
same answers.
Yes, they are both giving me the same thing. So it means there's a problem with this, my total revenue. So I have to calculate it. So total revenue should be sum of oh, why is it giving me this thing already? Calculate. So the expression is sum of sales, right? Sum of sales. Okay. Then
Why are you filtering it? What are you filtering?
I think that I have to filter the month, the order date. Yeah, so that when I filter it on my sheet, it will affect it.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's what I'm trying to do. So let me see what my all except gives me. Returns all the rows in the table except for those rows that are affected by. Yes, so I think this is what I should use. So it's return everything except the rows that are affected by the filters. Is that what I want?
No, they said last time, we're not the one talking about this, that this thing rather ignores everything except the one that is in the bracket.
Ah, yes, right. So this one is going to ignore every filter except the filter in the bracket
Yes.
that are affected by. It says return all the rows in a table except for the rows that are affected by the specified column filters. Yes, I think this is what I want.
Yeah.
Let's try it and see. If it doesn't work, we'll come back. So all except what table name. So it's the sales data. And the column name is the order date. Close this. I can close this. All right, let me hit my equal to. Okay. That's away. Okay, so now let me see if I hit. Let me clear this filter first. Okay. If I hit for June.
Good.
Hey,
See,
now
that's
the
what
total
you
revenue is not changing. So that's not what I want.
That's not what you want.
Yes, that's not what I want.
Okay, so
Wait,
initially when you did the total revenue calculation, you did it for the yearly aggregate. So that is what it is giving us. You didn't do it in such a way that I don't even know how to explain it. You didn't, unless there's a way you can write the formula in such a way that it will now be filtered for each individual month or something like that. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I think the formula, it is right. What you have done is right because I was thinking
this should
same.
be
Yeah, what
it.
you have done is right because the total revenue should remain same for the entire year. Okay, it will only change when you either change the month or the date. So in this case, the total revenue is the top picture, and then the cumulative one becomes the one that is cumulative. Okay, like month on month or whatever based on
We should use a cumulative to
So
check
that's
the
what should be
month by
changing.
month, no?
yeah.
And leave the total revenue alone.
Sure. Yeah, because
So,
cumulative is cumulative. It's add-on, right? Or whether it's reducing or whatever. Unless we rewrite the name, maybe which cumulative revenue by products, okay, or by order. Then in that case, we know that it's changing, while the total revenue remains the same for the year. Okay. But that will also not be right.
What I want to do is that the total revenue. So if I hit a month, for example, if I hit January, the total revenue card will give me revenue for January. Okay, I don't know if you get it. And if I hit, say, April.
So the thing, I think it should only be the cumulative revenue that should be changing. As for the total revenue is for the whole year or the whole period on which the data covered. It's the cumulative that should be changing. So I think this is how it's supposed to be.
The thing is, why is the filter not affecting it? I think that's what Peter is wondering. The filter
let me explain.
It affects the total revenue.
Let me explain what I'm trying to do.
Peter, they don't get what you are saying.
What I'm trying to do is that, you see, the total revenue and the cumulative revenue are two different things.
Yes.
The cumulative revenue if I pick late, let's say June, cumulative revenue should calculate everything from January to June. That is cumulative
Exactly.
revenue. But total revenue, if I click June, it should give me the revenue for June alone. If I pick May, it should give me the revenue for May alone, and not the total revenue of the whole year. You get it?
So that one,
I definitely get it now, but I don't know how you're going. I don't
that
know
one, I think. So you want, like, if you want monthly revenue, you should be able to get monthly revenue.
Yes, by applying the filter so that it will then give you the total revenue for that month. That is why he's applying the filter, but the filter is not working the way he wants it to. And I'm not exactly sure what we should do about it.
Abi, okay, but the slicer here, we can move the beginning, right?
Yeah, so I think that the slicer works. So for example, if I'm looking at total revenue, say in January, I start from January 1st.
January
and I
31st.
end on January 31. Please mute yourself when I have, please.
The years, check the years.
January 31.
Yes.
Okay. Both of them has changed. This is okay. Now let me move it to February. If I move it to February,
if you move the end alone to February, it will be cumulative from January to February.
To February.
So you
But then
will
the
have
total
to
revenue
change
also be
the
the same thing.
beginning to. You have to change the beginning, the dates.
I have to change
at the
this one
beginning
also
too.
to the
Yes.
January,
Yeah,
February
exactly.
1st. February 1st till the end of February.
Yeah.
End of February. That is February 28th. So this is what I want. So now the total revenue is giving me for February alone.
Yeah.
But the cumulative is giving me for both
Maybe
January
from
and
January to February.
This is what I was. Okay. I have to find a way to change this to give me the months. Let me get a list.
Can't you just drop down?
Yeah, but I want to have months alone.
Okay.
Let me see if this one works. February. You see, when I use this, the total revenue is not responding anymore.
I feel like for that monthly revenue to maybe we have to create a new measure for it, like come up with a new function for it all.
For the monthly revenue.
Yeah.
But why is this one picking and this one not picking? That is my problem.
I guess it's because of the formula we use. So if you want it on monthly basis too, I think you have to use another formula.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Hello. I'm saying just like the way we do it in the SQL, is it possible we can have a DAX where we run an aggregation by grouping?
I'm not sure I heard you right. You said just like we did with what?
In the SQL, like my SQL, right? We're doing my SQL. We were able to run an aggregate by grouping them. Is it possible we can do the same thing here?
By grouping them.
Like grouping by the month or what?
What should we group?
We group the total sales because that's a total revenue. So we group the total sales by a particular month or by month. Is it possible to work it out like that?
Zoto. I'm not finished. If I finish, I Guys, I lost you. I don't know if I'm audible.
Yeah, you are. You are.
We are here.
I didn't get his question clear. I think
What you were saying is,
I'm so-
can we calculate the
okay.
total revenue in such a way that we can group by month, like the way we do in SQL? That's what he said. So that it will kind of like automatically show us both the yearly revenue as an aggregate, as well as the divide by month, or if we want to see it broken down according to month as well. I'm not sure if that's possible.
No, for BI, I have not experienced that before, done something like that before. But if anybody has an idea on what our brother is suggesting, you can also let us know.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, so finally it works now. Hallelujah.
Amen.
But why is it working? You have to explain. Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
so the previous total sales I was using, the total revenue, I was using the measure I created. It means that the problem is with the measure. I was using this one.
Like how?
I was using this one, total revenue.
Okay.
Let me. And the filter was not affecting this.
Okay.
But then I changed it from, because we already have total, we already have sales on the table.
Okay.
So instead of using the measure I created, I forgot about the measure and I went to use the sales I have on the table itself.
Okay, so it will get that relation, right?
Yes. So once I go pick from the table itself now, the filter affects it.
Oh, I see. Oh,
But
okay.
I think we would have to, I think individually we would have to find out how the filter can affect the measure, because there should be a way.
Yes, please.
And there should be a way. There should be a way. Okay.
Yeah,
So now that
because I
problem
was
is solved.
getting if I pick, for example, 2020, right? I was getting a cumulative revenue of 34. Then I was getting the total revenue, like the opposite, of 8.6K. You get it. But I think I can see yours in a month, mine is showing by year. So let me delete all the things I see. Well,
Okay.
there was something wrong with the DAX thing. Okay, good. So you have picked generate now. Okay. So 1.8, then 34.55. Fantastic. Even though I use a different formula, but I'm getting same as yours. So
Okay.
it is working now.
All right. Correct. And then Yamiase. Okay, so we can go on. So I was trying to create the KPI and then the Abaha. So now we have our cumulative revenue. Let me remove all the filters. Let me clear all the filters. Now we've seen that everything is working. When we finish, we'll arrange our board properly. So we have the cumulative revenue now. We use the same formula to calculate cumulative cost. What is that cumulative revenue? Let me just go and calculate, copy the formula. Copy. Then we'll have to use that to create a new measure, call it cumulative cost. All right, here we are. Cumulative cost. So I'll just change the revenue to cost. Cumulative cost. Then this one will be total cost. Total cost. Yeah, and every other thing will be the same. Right. Okay. So I have my cumulative cost done as well. Good to go. Of course, I'll bring in a card again to see how my cumulative cost is also working, if everything is fine. So I can see that cumulative cost, if I hit February, for example, yes, it has changed, so it's fine. If I hit March, is it changing the way I want it to change? Okay. See January, February and March, 4.9. If I hit March alone, I hit March alone. I don't think my cumulative cost is changing like I wanted to.
Why not?
Someone is saying, but why is January showing the total revenue? It is because there are 2 Januaries in our data. There is January 2019 and January 2020. So we actually, this whole report is for 2019. So we have to remove everything 2020 in there. So if I pick January, it picks January for both 2019 and 2020. That's why it's showing everything. Okay. That's why it's showing everything. But if I filter the year self, if I filter the year on this page, and I say that basic filtering, give me only for 2019. Right. Now I'll be good. Now when I hit January, it's not giving me the 3 point whatever, it's giving me 1 point something. Okay. So that one is fine. Okay. So our cumulative cost, the cumulative cost is not working like the cumulative revenue. But the formula was the same. Let me go and see the formula again. Total cost. All sales data, this. Yes, I used total cost. The total cost was a measure. For the cumulative revenue too, I use total revenue. That's the maximum sales data. Yeah, it's the same. So was the cumulative cost for February is supposed to be cost of January plus February. But this one looks like it's only cost for February. If I add January, you see it goes to 3.99. So it's not doing cumulative here. Anyone knows what the problem is? Anyone got a revelation? Cumulative cost. Calculate total cost. And my total cost is sum of sales total cost. And my total revenue is okay. So it's because I've not added this. So I have to change my total cost as well. So I have to add the filter. So this total revenue, copy this, go to total cost, go and paste it there. Total cost, change everything to cost. Sales, so instead of that, I'll use cost. I'll use cost. I think everything is fine now. Hit commit. All right. Now let's see what's happening. So January, everything is the same. In February, yeah, so we are okay now. So everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Let me see if there's anything in the comments. Okay, nothing in the comments. So now we are good. Accumulative cost is working fine. Accumulative revenue is working fine. At sum of sales, which is the total sales, is also working perfectly. The only problem we have now is that the profit margin is coming to bite us. Look at the cumulative revenue, 4.2 million as at February. The cumulative cost is 3.99 million, almost 4 million. They are almost the same. Right. They are almost the same. Yeah. But we'll go on. We'll go on like that.
And you are
Because
saying your profit margin is 58.
it means that the profit margin, there's no this profit margin thing.
You see that? You see that?
Let me take away the 100, so we use the correct value. Because that's the correct profit margin. It's supposed to be 0 point something, 0.5 or 0.6. Okay, so this is the correct profit margin, 0.59.
All right.
Now everything makes sense. It's the KPI we are trying to create though. So now we have the cumulative cost, we have the cumulative revenue, so we can create our KPI. I pick my KPI visual. I pick my KPI visual. I like it to be big. Then at the value field, I can pick my revenue, cumulative revenue there. And then I pick my cumulative cost to the target. Then the trend will be the order date. Okay, the order date. Okay. So now we have everything we need, right?
Sure.
It is telling us that the cumulative revenue is 4 million. That is here, which is correct. And our target was to do 3.99 million, which was the goal. Which was the goal.
All right.
No, but that was then the target. The cost was not the target. We have to go and look for the target. So not here. The target, we said that, let's come back to this graph. Let me remove this. Okay, this graph. We said that our monthly target was 2.3 million. So if our monthly target is 2.3 million, it means that the yearly target will be 2.3 million times the number of months. Okay? The yearly target will be 2.3 million times the number of months we have in our data. So we'll have to create a measure for that as well. So a new measure, because that's what we are supposed to compare to the total revenue generated, not the cost. So a new measure, I'll call that target. Now this target is supposed to be distinct count. Distinct count. Okay. Hey, then I'm going count. Distinct. The end didn't come. Distinct count. What am I counting? I am counting I'm counting the months. Okay. It means that in my data, I'll have to have months first. I don't have that. In the data, I'll have to create months. Oh, this is interesting. Really interesting project. So where do I have my date? Order date here. So I'll have to duplicate this and create months. Duplicate the column and transform this one to show me only the month. Name of the month. Okay, so I'm okay. I have the month in there, so I can use that. Close and apply. I come back to my measure. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Nothing so far. All right. So in the measure, what is the measure I was creating? Okay, so I'll create a new one. Did I create a target? Target T. Okay, I don't have target, so I'll create a new one. New measure. So I'm saying that my target should be equal to distinct count. Distinct count of the month. Hey, so is this one the order date copy? So the distinct count of the month, okay, times the 2.3 million, because the 2.3 million is the monthly target. The reason why I'm doing the distinct count of the month and not just multiplying the 2.3 million by 12 is that if we want to see cumulative, maybe up to June, the number of months have to be 6 and not 12. If we want to see up to maybe May, it has to be 5. So I want that flexibility. That's why I'm using the distinct count function. So first of all, let me see if this works before I even multiply my 2.3 million. So I've created my target measure, but it's not complete. I want to see if it works first. I have this, I have my target. Okay, currently it's telling me that my target is 12. It means that it's counting 12 months. It's counting 12 months. Let me put only January. Okay, it's counting 1 month. Let me put January, February. It's counting 2. Let me add March. It's counting 3. Let me add April. Okay, so it means that my distinct count function is working very well. So I can go ahead and go and multiply. So I go back to my target measure and I say this value times 2.3 times a million times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my target. I hit the commit. Yeah, now my target is okay. My target is 28 million. My target for January alone was 2 million. It means that I'll have to format it. It was in USD. And then add maybe 1 decimal place. One decimal place. Okay. Right, so this is very correct because we know that our target per month is 2.3 million. If I pick for January and February, the two of them is giving me 4.6. That means that's also cumulative. So I'm good. I'm good to go. So we can add this target to our KPI visual. This KPI visual 34 and our target was target was 2.3 every month. This is not right. Okay, the target has to be cumulative. The target has to be cumulative. So I'll just copy the cumulative formula. Create I said more.
It's a long process, right?
Yeah, it's not simple, but it's interesting. It's really interesting.
I really love that and BI. I
So I have
spent
to
3 days on one project.
Yeah. One project you can spend a lot of time. So I'll copy this and use it for my cumulative target. So it's a new measure. New measure. I call it the cumulative target. So instead of cumulative cost, it's cumulative target. Target. And to be the target. Yeah. Target. This one. All right. I think I'm good. Everything should be the same. I hit my commit. All right, let me put it on my card and see if my cumulative target is working very well. This one. Okay, 27.6 million. At the moment, in January, it was 2.3. That was correct. In February, it should be 2.3 times 2. It's still 2.3, so that's not right. That is not right. Hey, Ejuma, we are easy. It means that I have to add that the total cost.
Let's see. So
I have to add the filter. All except this, the target. So I have to add the filter all except the other date to this. It's man easy.
No.
Calculate.
Oh, except. Okay.
Calculate. I have this. I bring my comma. Then I bring my all except the sales data. I bring my comma, and then I bring the other date. This one. Then I close my calculate. Fine. Okay. So now in February, it's giving me 4.6. In March, it's supposed to give me, in April, it's supposed to give me 9.2. Okay, that's right. So now my cumulative is also fine. So I know I don't have any problem there. Oh, this is interesting. I'm really loving this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now I can go on and create my visual. So I won't use the target. I'm using cumulative target. Where is that one? Here. Cumulative target. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it's telling us that at the end of the year, we are getting 34.48 million in revenue. Meanwhile, the target was 27.6 million.
Okay.
So we've actually done about 25% more, which is very good. And upper management will be very interested in this. So this is the visual we've been looking for.
Oh.
So now I can delete all the visuals we don't want. So remove this one, the target, we don't need it. The profit margin, okay, we want it. The cumulative revenue, we don't need it. The cumulative cost, we don't need it as well.
Interesting.
Cumulative cost, we don't need this.
Wait, it's almost 10.
What else? I think that's all.
Yes.
So we can finally arrange our stuff properly. Let me put them.
Peter, what is the count of order ID for? And why does the top management want that?
The count of order ID is the total orders we had in the whole year. The total jobs we closed, the total invoices we closed in the whole year. So if we
And
rename,
it's interesting to top management because
they want to know how, it's more like how many jobs we did in the whole year. How many sales did we do in the whole year? And that's an interesting parameter. You want to see if you are doing lots of sales or you are doing less sales, because you could be doing a lot of revenue, but it could be because you are selling things that are expensive. It's not like you are doing a lot of sales. But the count of order ID is telling you how many sales you are closing. Like daily, how many are you closing? Monthly. So in the year, you are closing about 185,000 different sales. And that's a lot. And I think capital management is interested in this. Okay. So which one? This. Okay. I think this is the most interesting one. Okay, the total sales as well. Sum of sales. Make it smaller. Let me make it smaller. Then we can arrange. And once we finish arranging, we are good. Not layout, call out. Let me make this smaller, 20. Then let me put it in the middle. The display units, I think it's okay. Everything else is okay. And the same for this guy. The call out, this should be 20. Every other thing looks okay. Yeah. Then I have you can come here, come this way, you come this way, you come here. And, oh, this is the most important. So you come this way for the meantime. So I'm arranging it based on what I think is very important for upper management. So they definitely want to see this big one first. It's too big. Let me see if I can change the size to 20. Yeah. Put this in the middle as well. Value, put it right in the middle. So what the title? Title should be in the middle. In the middle. Okay. Can it be smaller? Yes, it can be. All right. Okay. And then this one, I even forgot about this one. So make it smaller as well. 20. Guys, any questions? We suffered together.
Oh yeah. I'm
The only
Derek.
question is, when are we closing?
Oh,
Some of us are dozing off already.
by 10
Yeah.
we should. We should.
We are closing after this.
Unless I did that,
Yeah, so I don't know if I can pass this out. I think we've gone far, and Sarah has done a lot, right, for us. So if it would be possible, right, we can task ourselves with this data set. So we can give ourselves maybe up to Sunday, right? So please, when you are done, create a GitHub repository and share it over there. Or maybe for the meantime, you can just share a copy. You can convert it to PDF and you share. Oh no, I think for PDF, you will not be able to see what you've done, right? But you just share a copy of the BI file, right? So we can look at what exactly you've done. So if there's anything we can all help, then we do that. So maybe by Sunday.
I agree with that.
Yes, by Sunday, maybe there should be a section where each of us will be presenting at least what he or she has done for at least 5 minutes or
yeah,
less than
5
10
minutes is fine.
5 minutes is fine. So we can cover a lot. And after that, we can all share to our various portfolio websites.
All right, cool.
All right. So if Mr. Ghana has anything, he will add to that. So
for me, there right now, I don't think I have anything else. We've suffered together and we've
oh yeah, but we are all good to go because this small thing we are doing here, it's never easy, and it's never going to be easy for anybody. Wherever each of us find him or herself.
I think I'm good now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this looks presentable.
What about the colors? Do you have to use blue?
Oh, the colors, it's
And the colors there is based on you, is what you want.
what you want. You can
I'm not
change it.
liking the blue.
Yeah.
Changing.
All right. So when you are doing your individual project, then
It's when you get yours, then you change it. Okay, me, I like my blue.
Blue nyefe.
and yeah, well,
I like my
and I think sometimes to depending on the colors of the company, right? You can adapt that to do your designs.
Yeah. Makes it more.
Yeah.
So this is what I use. Okay, I use blue anyway.
For you always use the custom color.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, this is a little the arrangement I did. And
Oh yeah.
I think we're good to go.
Yes, please.
Let's see, someone wrote something like actual
No, I think,
volume.
yeah. No, I think you guys were saying something about the management would be interested in knowing. I think Yasmin mentioned what will management do with the count, the total counts. Actually, is the naming. It's supposed to be, let's say, actual volume, because they are interested in how much volume you made in a month on the total here, which is very key for them. Like he said, you could have run some promo and you got these figures, or maybe there's some item that were had higher in terms of margins or sales. That's how you got this volume. So they are interested in knowing the total volumes you made. So for
Right.
me, and the colors too you mentioned, there are some CEOs, MDs, if you enter the boardroom, at least with some of us, we've had opportunity presenting. When they see some of the colors, they can walk you out. I'm telling you.
Yes,
So we need to be very keen on that. Not too much gone colors. Other than that, they will disgrace you. In fact, because especially when sales is not really coming, and then you go enter the boardroom with colors like that, they will, in fact,
I'm going to move violence in Navebasu.
I agree. Some colors are playful. Colors be high, the agro.
Oh yeah, yes, please. Yeah. We should be very careful about what our fellow is saying, right? Don't do any hundious coloring like we are doing painting in I don't know, visual arts.
Visual
I
art
must
for
say,
Ninya.
and I must say, Peter, thank you so much. You've really done well. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Okay, someone is saying we should send the PDF.
Yes,
I
please.
don't know which PDF
Yes,
talking
please.
about.
No,
I think they mean file, your file.
No,
or...
I think earlier you were using a documentation of a PDF file.
Okay, the one for the project. No?
Yes, please. So you can share with us as a resource, right? So
this one, you mean?
Yes, please. And
yeah, I think that's.
I don't know. I want to suggest that should we share either a Google form to know the number of people who are trying their hands on this project, so at least we would know the
follow up.
Yeah, so we can do that follow up.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
boss, don't worry your head, because for me, if somebody is really interested in mastering Power BI or DAX, they will be here. Fine. Like, I'm not saying not like all of us that are here or are not here, we don't have interest. Okay. But if really somebody wants to join, you have shared the data set on WhatsApp,
Yeah,
on the platform.
yeah.
So if somebody is interested, the person will just pick the data set and
but
start
at
playing with
least,
it, start answering questions.
yes, please. Yeah, I start with you, but we want to advance this project together, right? So at least we would know maybe which people are committed with this, and think if there's any assistance, support, something like that, right, we can be helping ourselves, each other.
Oh, okay. I think I get where he's coming from. Maybe there's some 20 people that want to work on this thing. You know, not everybody, some people are celebrating Christmas. So
Exactly.
let's know the 10 or 15 people who are interested in doing this thing. And like he said, maybe if they are struggling, they can ask questions on the platform or they can reach out to someone. And you know, say Sunday, no, you're expecting like 15 people or so to maybe show how far they've come or, you know,
Exactly.
what they have done, etc. You know, when you are doing something in a group, honestly, sometimes you get more motivation to get it done. So I
Exactly.
think I get where it's coming from.
Yes, please. Yeah. Because I think the talking is okay. It's 10-3, right? So if anybody has anything to add, we can do that. Because I'm always scared to start the Python without majority of us or committed people not having grasping of the BI, the SQL and sister
I
SL,
agree with you.
sister SL, right? So if anybody has anything to add, we can before Mr. Ghana say bye-bye to today's section, so we can move for today's meeting closure. Pim Derek, is that correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
You are the CEO.
If nobody has anything, somebody.
All right, so
Yes, so I think earlier, I think I was supposed to share what you guys showed the data set for the call center.
yeah,
But like because Peter took over. So what I'll do, I'll share the data set with you.
okay,
You know, usually the data set that comes with just a single table, like Peter shared, is the most dangerous ones.
exactly.
If you have several of them, the relation, that one is okay. But this the kind that Peter shared, those things, single tables, and then especially a lot of KPIs out of. So I'll share that with you, and
Okay.
then when we are done with this one, and then we can also go through that one. It's also an interesting dashboard to build.
Oh, all right. Okay, then that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Please let's say some either cheers or what interesting words to Ghana for his effort and his commitment to support each and everyone here.
Mr. Momoto Collection. Cheers, the
Peter.
The mobile money.
But don't worry, Esmas, you best send any time be brave. Peter, you do all, yeah. All right, so
all right, guys.
Peter,
Yeah, good night.
yes, please. So
Yeah.
share the documentation and what we've all done together so far. Don't send yours, right? Send what we all did it together to the page. So if anybody want to go through, but please, there should be something different from what we all did it together, right? Even though you can do something similar, but let's all try to exploit maybe areas that we did not, or areas that you think you can present to either top management, either a stakeholder or a supervisor, right? So the same day you would let us know that, okay, for mine, I was thinking to present to either my supervisor, top management level, or a stakeholder, right? So you can explain why this year, why that year, why you did this or whatsoever, to convince us at least it's part of experience we can all gather or learn from each other. Thank you.
Okay, good night, everyone.
All right. Ghana, bless you. All right.
Sure, sure.
I will end the call to see you guys next week. So please, I hope we are breaking for the S-Mass, right? We should.